So if you're watching this video, you're probably someone who got sucked into the whole online money game because you just saw Brez Scales buy his 19th Lamborghini, or you saw that one 16-year-old in Miami with 9 dropshipping stores flexing his money online. And in today's video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do the fucking same. Just kidding. I'm a little too broke to tell you guys how to become one of those Giga Chads, but in today's video, I am going to explain to you guys the #1 skill that has helped me personally make exponential progress in my own online business journey. And I already know what you're thinking. I'm not gonna tell you cold plunge your way to your first $1 million. I'm not gonna teach you how to do the new super secret outreach method. I'm not gonna tell you how to find a winning product. I'm gonna teach you something way more important. It's gonna take me about 10 minutes to explain. If you can't, sit down and watch like a 10-minute video that can genuinely help you, I honestly understand, because I also like to doom scroll and watch police body cam videos instead of getting to my goals. Over the last year, I've met hundreds of these online money guys. I've met people who went from 0 to multiple 6, 7 figures in record time. Shout out you guys. I've met people who you guys watch online on your TikToks, flexing their Bugattis in Miami. I've met people who started around the same time as me and have given up. And what I want to explain to you guys is that the thing that separates the winners from the losers is, once again, not some super secret technique. It's not something hidden behind a course that you want to buy. It's simply the ability and the skill of telling themselves a story inside of their own head, a narrative inside of their own head that empowers them. And I already know what you're saying. Okay, I already know what you're thinking. Brandon, what the fuck are you talking about? Narratives and stories. I came here to, learn about online money. I came here to learn about how to get to my goals, right? I didn't come here to read a Shakespeare sonnet. Like, what even is a narrative? But just stick with me, because I understand where you're coming from. For one, I used to hate these online, mindset videos and everything as well. But I'm telling you, this one thing costed me months of progress. So please learn from my mistakes so you don't have to suffer like I did. But before I can teach you guys how to, rewrite narratives and stories inside of your own heads to get to your goals, I need to tell you guys a story so you guys can truly see how viewing your current situation, viewing your past life experiences, your struggles, your setbacks, and things like that in a negative way can be the #1 reason that you'll never get to your goals, okay? Viewing things that have happened to you or your current situation in a negative way, a negative narrative, is going to be the #1 thing that stops you from getting to your goals. So let me tell you guys a story. So when I first started my agency, I'll be honest with you guys, I got super fucking lucky. I had a really good client dropped into my lap, basically, right? And for the first couple months, I'll be honest with you guys again, it was pretty smooth sailing, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and say that I was, battling demons or anything, but it was honestly pretty smooth sailing. So luckily, once again, I had worked for a company beforehand that I learned a lot of the skills required to get this client results, right? And I was surrounded by people who were helping me, were teaching me, were guiding me along the path, and I'm very grateful for all of them. So we actually ended up scaling this client after a couple months, and we got him to $100,000 in one single month, right? And I was on top of the world, naturally. However, what I was not ready for was, literally like the next day after scaling this client to like $100,000 in a month, I woke up and the client was gone. I had no more client. Didn't matter that we scaled them to $100,000 a month. There was no more scaling, no more nothing. Okay, I woke up, my income dropped to 0 overnight. I was back at square one, I had no client. Imagine me in this moment, right? I literally went from having my best income month inside of the agency, right? We scaled this guy to $100,000 per month and I made whatever amount of money out of that, to overnight losing my client, losing my income, back to 0, back to square one. Okay, honestly, I was devastated. This was like the lowest point in my career. Okay, I'm honestly embarrassed to share this with you guys, but it's fine. Meanwhile, I'm opening up my fucking phone and I'm seeing these 13-year-olds on TikTok telling me how easy it is to make it an online business. I was fucking cooked. I felt like I wasn't good enough to make it in business, and I truly adopted this narrative into my head. What I want to explain to you guys is how hard it is to make progress towards your goals whenever you tell yourself a story that takes power away from you. Whenever you tell yourself a narrative that makes you feel like shit. So the way that I viewed this situation was, wow, this client left me, I must be a failure, I must not be good enough, I must not be cut out for business, right? These guys that are making it, they must just be better than me, right? Like, I don't know what else to say. And by adopting this mindset, I literally would wake up every single day for the next, I don't even know how long, and I would truly feel like a failure. I would truly feel like a loser, okay? And I really, really believed it. And what this does, naturally, when you really believe you are something, me, I felt like a failure, I really thought I was a failure, I stopped taking the winner actions that actually got me to that place in the first place of, actually making progress in my business. And I started taking daily loser failure actions. And honestly, it didn't really matter how hard I worked. It didn't matter any of that, like anytime that I would pick myself up just a little bit and get myself back out there to try to make progress again in my business, any slight inconvenience, any setback, anything literally minor, I would take it as confirmation that once again, I'm a failure, right? That I'm a loser, that I just couldn't make it. And maybe this was because like of past life experiences or whatever it may have been. But once again, I'm going to tell you, I really, really internalized feeling like a loser. And what I want to explain to you guys is I literally had proof of concept already. I literally had a case study. I knew exactly how to get clients results. I knew how to get more clients, but I couldn't get myself to make progress. It did not matter how hard I worked. So naturally, I basically stopped, right? I mean, think about it. If you truly feel like you're a failure and you're a loser and you can't make it, why would you even try, right? So naturally, I just basically stopped trying to make progress. Think about someone who is, like, we all know somebody in our lives who was very overweight, and I can speak on this because I've been obese literally myself, but we all know somebody who was overweight and, they finally stuck to their diet and they finally lost all the weight, right? And we also all know that one person that gained it all back. And the reason for this is because internally, they never changed their identity. They still, inside of their own mind, were a fat person. They were still somebody who was fat. They were still somebody who was overweight, who was obese. So naturally, once they stop following that super strict diet, they're gonna go back to taking natural fat person actions and then gain all the weight back. So what I want you guys to understand is that for anything at all to change in your external world, you need to change internally first. If you just go out and try to do the actions without rewriting the narrative in your own head, you're not going to make any progress, at least not in my experience. What I want you guys to see, once again, is that the thing that stopped me and what I see stop most people from making progress towards their goals, especially in business, is not some super secret technique, okay? It's not, once again, it's not something behind a fucking course that you need to go buy. It's simply the story that you tell yourself in your own mind. Thank fucking God, I had a mentor who basically saved my life. He found me and he basically taught me the skill and how important it is to rewrite your own narrative and how important, and how powerful narratives can be in terms of getting to your goals. So what he explained to me is that multiple stories can be true, right? Multiple things can be true at once. So the way that I was viewing, that client leaving me was simply like, okay, he left me. That means I'm a failure. That means I'm not good enough. That means I can't do it, right? But another way that I could have looked at that was, okay, most people have to work for free for their first client. Most people have to work just to get a case study and they have to work for free just to get that case study. Meanwhile, me, I got a really good client dropped into my lap. I got a solid case study. I got paid to learn on the job. And yes, maybe that client isn't with me anymore, but what if that's actually normal in agency work, right? What if it's normal for, clients to churn out? But that's okay that I don't have that client anymore because I have all the skills required to go out there and get another one and get results for that client. I'm still a winner. Imagine I had adopted that mindset into my life. Once that client left me, that empowering mindset instead of the one that hurt me, I probably wouldn't have felt like a failure, right? I probably wouldn't have started taking failure actions because I still would have been a winner in my mind. My point is that both narratives are true if you want them to be, okay? Either narrative can be true, right? Neither one of those narratives that I was telling myself was a lie or was objectively truthful, right? It's about the one that I adopt into my mindset that is going to either give me power or take it away from me. And the one thing that I have noticed in every single successful person that I have ever met, whether I met them in real life or I listened to a podcast on them or whatever, is that they have this one skill, right? They have this skill that seemingly gives them infinite energy. It seemingly makes them never lose. They have this like winner aura to them, as you can say, or whatever. And that skill is simply being able to lie to yourself. It's to be able to rewrite the narrative in your head and reframe reality into a narrative, into a story that can actually give you power instead of take it away from you, okay? So I wanna ask you guys, are you telling yourself a narrative in your own head that is taking power away from you? You know what I mean? If you're in a place right now that you feel like no matter how hard you work, no matter what you do, you cannot make any progress, trust me, I have been there. I've been there, okay? If that is the case, take a step back and ask yourself, are you telling yourself a story in your head that is taking power away from you? And if that's the case, you need to reframe your reality. You need to reframe the narrative into a story that's going to empower you instead of take power away from you. Because I'm going to tell you guys something, and I'm going to be brutally honest, and it's going to really suck. Nobody cares about how you feel. Nobody cares about what happened to you. None of that. And I wish it was different. I really wish it was different. But The truth is nobody cares what happened. Okay, nobody cares about what's going on in your life, nothing. You got to go out there and get it either way. It's way better to basically lie to yourself and live in delusion and be delusional than it is to have a mindset or a narrative inside of your head that takes power away from you. Because at the end of the day, you still need to go out there and you still need to go get it. And what you'll notice in the most successful people that you meet, at least in my experience, is that they're so fucking delusional. You know what I mean? Like, to be a 21, 22, 23-year-old kid and genuinely wake up and say, one day I'm going to be a millionaire, I have no idea how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to fucking do it, you got to be fucking delusional. Yeah, ask yourself, are you telling yourself a narrative in your head that's taking power away from you? And if so, you need to fix it, okay? Reframe your reality, pick a different narrative, and adopt it into your mindset and internalize it, okay? But that's pretty much all I got for this video. If this helped even one of you, subscribe below. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.